Hello friends, it's Mrs. Jane on Fun Day Monday, October the 19th, 2020, with all the fantastic news you can use about our fantastic day at school today. And how did it go? Well, I think it went quite well. We went through our usual temperature check with Mrs. Ann to begin our day, down the stairs, into the classroom, and got right to work on our daily routine. Hung up our backpacks, made sure the folders made it to the take-home box, little hand sanitizing, hanging our t-shirt up on the clothesline for our sign-in process, and then headed off to those tabletop activities. And today, starting with table 1, we were working on our name trains as we started last week, and making sure that we refer to our name plate to get all those letters in the correct progression from left to right, starting of course with that all-important first initial, our special letter. We also did a little tracing there today. Let me make sure I've got that right. Yes, it was a paper called Who's There? And we traced the pattern, the flight pattern of an owl from the top of the tree all the way to the ground. On table number 2 today, it was a variation on that game called Minute to Win It, where we give you a little bit of time and ask you to do a task. Well, today we gave you some pretend pumpkins. They were orange pom-poms, and we gave you some tweezers, color of your choice, and then we had a great big, well, I should say a medium-sized black pot, and we gave you, I think it was about 15 seconds to see how many pumpkins you could get in the pot, and of course we did a little counting after that to see how many pumpkins you did get in there. So a little fine motor combined with a little counting today. On table number 3, we were make sure I get this right. That was the rainbow writing for letter D, closing out letter D. You see, parents, we take 1 week to talk about a letter, and then in the beginning of the following week, we wrap it up during tabletops with that rainbow writing. And that way, you get another look at it, another chance to make the sound, and we get to use all the colors to trace that letter. Yeah, all 8. Alrighty. We continued with our guessing jar, our estimating jar, as we would call it this week, to get in that letter E, and we gave the results this morning. I'll get to that in just a minute. Of course, some more work with hand skills, and this was a real crowd pleaser. We used one of our pumpkins that we got from the farm on one of our tables, some golf tees, and some of our plastic hammers, and we asked the kids just to hammer those golf tees into the pumpkin. Excellent fun, excellent hand strength there. Let's make sure we got the next part right. Yeah. Oh, and of course the traditional orange Play-Doh for other hand strengthening. And then on to our Rock-A-Motion Choo-Choo. And today, before we got into brainstorming any E words or our train arms and moving to our circle, today we gave the results of that estimating that we did with our guessing jar. And we started that by counting the actual number of little sour pumpkin candies inside the jar. Then we put a frame on the number line in our circle area to tell how many sour pumpkins there really were inside. 12 today, yeah. And then we looked to see whose guess was as close as it could be to the actual number. And we're proud to say 3 of our friends actually guessed right on the nose, 12 sour candy pumpkins inside. By the way, we record your estimate on a Post-it and stick it right there on that number line so everybody gets a clear idea where their guess falls and how close it actually was to the real answer. Okay, then of course we did do some brainstorming of our E words. We sang our ABC song to make sure we were on the right letter E, and fun fact, parents, we have 2 E kids in our group, and believe it or not, E is the letter that we use the most out of any of the letters in the alphabet. Fun fact. Alrighty, of course, after we did that, we moved on then to our Hello Circle, and there we introduced the persons of the day, reminded everybody of those stop and think rules, called the pledge leaders forward to lead us in the pledge to the Pledge of Allegiance. Then we had our attendance officer come, I always forget this part, sang the good morning song. Then we asked the attendance officer to come forward and make a report on how many friends were with us in school today. The meteorologist gave us weather words for our weather report. We did a little seventh inning stretch. We got to stretch our arms up as we did some counting, then get our blood moving in our legs by doing a little stomp and count before going on with the rest of our circle. Let's see, make sure we got all of those things. So today, of course, we had to say goodbye to our letter D. We had to say hello to letter E. We also looked at our calendar and filled in the days that we're at home, crossed out the day today that we're in school, counted how many days we've used so far in our month, and then counted the days till our first event in the month of October. Little color check today for color orange, and then a little moving and music with Elephant Song and Dr. Jean before we assigned our small groups and moved off to those. Today, on the craft side of things, Mrs. Ann helped the kids to create a pumpkin from some construction paper and some crepe paper. So we had a large white circle, and we did some cutting of orange crepe paper, cut that into some squares, and glued that onto the pumpkin. And that we have already put up on our cabinet right behind the painting easel. So when you work in the classroom, take a look over in that corner for your child's pumpkin. On the literacy side of things, of course, we began with our ABC song before moving on to some play with letter E. And this is kind of exciting, parents. We took a walk over to the elevator, and it's interesting, but lots of kids, and I'm sure maybe even you didn't realize that our school has an elevator. And so it's over there in the corner as you come down the stairs. So we looked, because there's a lovely sign right there that has the word elevator to tell about it. And we all went in, took a little trip upstairs, and then took another trip downstairs. Of course, all of this was preceded in our group by a little discussion of what an elevator is and what an elevator does. And several of our friends had been on elevators, and they told us about their experience being on an elevator. So after we all had our elevator ride, we came back to our group, and we did a little work on our E tree, circling all those E's on the E tree. And of course, marker of our choice. We get to pick what color we like to use. After that, of course, it was time for a little bit of a break, so we headed off to the necessary room, then to the library for a little free read before having a delicious, nutritious snack that you folks all sent from home. After that, believe it or not, the clock said, "Hurry, please, because we're running out of minutes." And so we went directly from our snack today to our story time. I know. Where did all the time go? So much fun, so little time. So today's story was Big Pumpkin by Erica Silverman. A nice little Halloween story there. After that, of course, already time for show and tell, circulate our classroom book, do our little goodbye song, a treat, get our backpacks, and head up those stairs out to you to start the afternoon together at home. And so, parents, let's just make sure we get all the public service announcements you need. Color stays orange for the rest of this week. Letter stays E for the rest of this week. Still plenty of time to brainstorm some excellent E words. Mommy Fry wants to let everybody know that our Scholastic book orders are due next Thursday on October the 29th. So if you want to order books, make sure you get your order in by then. And I think that just about does it from here for now. Quick reminder that if you have any concerns or any questions, please reach out. We're here to hear and help. And always remember, it's a good day to have a good day at Jack and Jill. Talk soon. Bye now.